What's up guys, it's Tyler from High Octane, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to use one of these Mega Monster cans to make an awesome sounding muffler cap. Now I know the ones I had before, I said you couldn't use these giant cans with that because it'd be a compression issue. Well, I was right, but I did figure something out to make it last a little bit. So basically, from the other videos you'd see, you cut off this end, and no, quit rolling, no rolling away, just do this. So you'd cut it off here, all the way around, and then you'd cut a slit there, twist it together, and then put one of those clamps on it that would hold it to the muffler. That would be good. Well, see, the problem is that it's not shooting out a hole this big. Now, it is shooting out a hole this big. So, it sounds awesome. It's got a really cool baffle noise. That's that puttering noise that you hear. That's baffle. So, I'm going to teach you how to turn this into a awesome muffler cap. Now, what you're going to need for this, obviously something to cut the can with, probably some scissors, and you're going to need some tape. I'm using Gorilla Tape because it's pretty strong. The last cap I had was tearing from the compression, so these do not last. I cannot guarantee this to last you, and if you do it right, it'll last a couple weeks, maybe longer. Mine kept breaking. I had to keep getting more cans, which I don't really mind because I like Monster, so it works for me. Let me get this end off because holding the phone, I'm using my phone as my camera, so holding it with one hand and cutting with the other, that doesn't really work out. So we'll be back in just a second. Okay, so got the end cap off, got that off. So when you have this on, depending on the color you use, that looks pretty cool. And here's another cool thing. So for those of you that have these kits, you know how quiet the stock muffler cap is. It is just retardedly quiet. The only thing you hear really is the vibrations from your bike. But with this, you take your baffle cap from your original muffler, you take the cap from this, and you drill a hole the same size. So if you're trying to be quiet, like you're trying to ride at night and be quiet, you can basically make a silencer for it. Not completely, because it's not sealed completely, but this stays on because it's screwed on. Now you cannot take the plastic out. This plastic has to be there, so you got to drill a hole through that too. Otherwise it will not stay on there. It'll just rattle and eventually it'll fall off. So that's pretty self-explanatory. I won't do that in this video because I already have a cap for it. So now you need to figure out how it's going to fit on your bike. Now for me, I need to cut to about right there. Okay, so when I draw this up on my bike, you're basically doing this. You're bringing it into itself. That's normally where the tear starts, which is why I use tape, because it keeps it together longer. So I'm gonna go figure out how you may have to cut longer, or it may be shorter. I'm gonna go figure out where it needs to be on my bike, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gotten it measured. It's about to here for me. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this, you're gonna bring it to your bike's muffler, you're gonna put it on till it's all the way around the baffle and its closed gap, because you're gonna use a nice little C-clamp to go around that. So now for the tape. So you can start down here, you can start wherever. Really doesn't matter how it looks. I honestly just care for the sound and the slight little speed boost it gives, because it's basically making an expansion chamber for your exhaust. Now, does it shoot fuel back up into the engine? No, that would be cool, but it doesn't. However, it is still bringing that air compression back, which is what the stock muffler does, even though it sucks. Like, everybody that owns this thing can attest to that. So I'm going to start taping this, and we'll be back in just a couple seconds, and then I'll show you how I can fit it onto my bike. So let's do that. Okay, I did want to do one thing here. So a lot of people, they're probably wondering, well, how do I get it to fit perfectly flush with that? I'm going to tell you now, unless you do a lot of cutting or you have some very flexible tape, it's not going to do that perfectly. So here's what you can do. Squish here. Squish here. Here. And then one more. Here. Now what you're going to do, so you see all these? So basically you put it to where it'll measure perfectly to that. And then, let me see if I can do this. I may have to set the phone down for just a second. So you're going to clamp it down, and then you're going to twist the can with your other hand so it makes a swirl almost. So let me do that, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so as you can see, they're all flattened down. They got a twist. That's pretty cool. I'm going to cover the rest of the can, and then we're going to fit it on my wonderful bike. Now, there are many ways you can do this, but keep in mind, this has got to be at a certain point. Now, what makes it really easy for those of you that have trouble measuring correctly, not hating on anyone, I have trouble measuring, so don't worry. You can put this on your bike, clamp it where it needs to be, put tape to hold it, take it off, put tape where it'll fit around that, and then it'll hold it at its position, and you can tape it. So let me go do that, and then I'll show you how to properly fit it. Okay, so sorry if that's a little bright. So what I've done is basically I've gotten it taped at the top. You have that nice part there. Got the C-clamp on. I know it's got some fur in there. That's from my dogs. Thanks, Poochies. So now, you don't want it all the way at the end. You want it just a little bit up, so that way it doesn't fall off. So I'm going to tighten this down, and then I'll finish taping up, so we'll be back in just a second. Alright, and here's the finished product. So, that's how it should look. Here's your nice, cool looking baffle. Now, yes, this will eventually rip, probably around there. That's what the tape is for. One, so you don't have to paint it. Because if you're just gonna like, oh, I don't need the tape, I can just spray paint it. Well, that's not gonna last too long because the vibrations will eventually tear it with the compression. With this, it reduces vibration, sounds better, and it doesn't rip. So there you have it. That's how you can turn a Mega Monster can into an awesome sounding baffle. I'll do another video eventually when I have it started up, running with this baffle. Currently I have to move on to another video because I have some parts that I just got in. So yeah, fun. Alright, this is Tyler signing off from High Octane. Everybody have a wonderful evening, night, day, wherever you are. See you next time.